Hi, I'm Oliver. Welcome to this new and very interesting lesson of Chinese for beginners. In order to fully understand this lesson, you must remember what you learned in lessons 1 and 3. In this lesson, I will talk about the verb to be. Be, that is, sh, like what shall we do? Shall, the beginning, sh.
是
When do we use the verb be? Let me start with English. First, when you describe somebody or something with a noun. For example, I am a Chinese. Second, when you describe somebody or something with an adjective. For example, it is cheap. And third, when you describe where somebody or something is. For example, we are in China. And once more, let me show you how easy Chinese language is, because in the second and third case, you don't need any verb at all. Okay, let's start with the first case, describing with a noun. For example, I am a Chinese. China in Chinese is 中国.
中国
A person in Chinese, that's 人.
人
A Chinese, that is a China person, 中国人. So, I am a Chinese, that is, 我是中国人.
我是中国人
真的?
真的
Really, that is 真的.
真的
As you learned in lesson 1, you say ma at the end of a phrase to make it a question. However, you can also say that phrase in such a way that it sounds like a question, in which case you don't need to say ma. For example, really? Really. 真的? 真的. 真的?
真的
And now the second case, describing with an adjective. In this case, you don't need any verb at all. For example, I am tall. That will be I tall. You are beautiful. That will be you beautiful. Or they are cheap. That will be they cheap. Cheap, that is 便宜.
便宜
You learned before very, that is 很. So they are very cheap becomes they very cheap. 他们很便宜.
他们很便宜
And finally, the third case, when you describe where somebody or something is. Also in this case, you don't need any verb, just a little word 在, which means in. So, I am in China becomes I in China. 我在中国. Okay, here I show you the table once more. In Chinese, you don't need any verb if you describe somebody or something with an adjective, and you also don't need a verb when you describe where somebody or something is. I will now give you some more examples. First case, describing with a noun. You are a foreigner, abroad, that is 外国.
外国
You already know person, that is 人. So a foreigner, that is an abroad person, 外国人. You are a foreigner, 你是外国人.
你是外国人
我?
是的你
Second case, describing with an adjective. It is very expensive. Expensive, that is 贵.
贵
So it is very expensive becomes it very expensive. 它很贵.
它很贵
不贵.
贵
Third case, describing where somebody or something is. You are in America. America, that's 美国.
美国
So you are in America becomes you in America, 你在美国. I would like to finish this lesson with probably the most important thing of all, yes and no. Yes, that is, it is so, 是的.
是的，
And no, that is, it is not so. 不是。
不是，